Morning YouTube. Wasn't planning on filming right now, but I was going for lunch with a friend and well, camera was in the truck and they're feeding some silage we put up, so let's go. I guess we're doing another silage feeding video. If anyone wants to see what a silage bale looks like being fed with a bale truck and with a bale processor, stay tuned. If you want to see some snow, there's some of that too. Just when we thought we were going for lunch, we're going to pull up the camera here and do some filming. We just did that video with the TMR Penta mixer. Pretty cool way to feed silage bales or pit silage or silage in general, let alone mixing hay rations and straw. But today we'll show you what a little bit of silage baled last August looks like being fed out with a bale truck and a Vermeer bale processor. Doing it, Ben. We're feeding. I thought we were gonna go for lunch, but we're gonna do some chores first.
You're putting David to work.
Oh yeah. Well, lunch comes with a price, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna feed some more bales here, some silage bales with the bale truck, and show you guys how easy it can be done. These silage bales, like we just showed in that TMR Penta video, they can be fed with a TMR. They can be fed off of a bale truck, and we'll try to get some drone image of them fed through a processor as well. So we're doing it, Ben.
Yeah.
Well, thanks Ben for letting me come out today and check this out. I know we were going for lunch, but seeing this feed come out of a bale truck and off of a processor is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So won't keep you guys long, but we wanted to show you guys a couple things here with this silage. That last bale that you saw us feed or unroll with the bale wagon or bale truck, is actually a first year hay crop that we silage baled. It wasn't planted with a cover crop other than ryegrass, but pretty dry this year, and it was a really good catch, but it still had volunteer oats and barley, a little bit of wild oat and stinkweed and lamb's quarters, you know, typical first year hay weeds that you'd see. So anyways, Ben and his dad made the decision, let's silage it with some of the other silage that we were putting up. So we did, and it's hilarious and a great thing that we took all those weed seeds off of the field. Yep. And the cattle, you're saying, actually prefer this first year hay, that even though it has a few weeds in it, they're preferring this over the oats and barley.
Yeah, well, it made really good feed. Yeah, some volunteer oats or some wild oats and some volunteer barley in there too. So, and then with the baby hay, it was kind of partial haylage, I guess. And yeah, the cows, you feed oat silage and they'll go to that for sure, but you put out some of this haylage and they just lick it right up. They won't go to the oat silage until they cleaned up with the haylage here.
That's pretty cool, but being such a juvenile crop, but good use for a first year hay crop, but also super palatable. Like they're loving it.
Baling it at a higher moisture, hopefully not dropping as many of the weed seeds down too, we thought would be a good idea. So
that field's off to the races in 2024.
Hopefully.
Look, we just need some rain now. Some rain, even some irrigation, and we'd be set. So check this out, guys. I know in the last video there, I was trying to keep 300 women happy, but Ben is actually succeeding at keeping about 200 happy in this field. So pretty cool, but check this out. This haylage is probably 60-70% grass, and the rest is made up of some volunteer oats, some barley, and then some weed seeds. But it smells delicious. I'd almost want to eat that instead of lunch, but we're going for pizza, I think. Pizza sounds good on a cold day. So, but no, these girls absolutely love it, and they'll temporarily come off of the oat silage that we also just unrolled, and some remnants of barley as well. So these girls look pretty happy. But let's go look at this oat silage and show you the difference between what it looks like being unrolled with a bale truck versus coming off the processor. All right, so now everybody's fed for the day, right, Ben? And, what we're gonna look at here is compare the processed pile versus the unrolled pile from the bale truck. So one thing we're noticing is on the processing makes a really nice swath, windrow. It's really fluffed up well, sitting on top of the snow good and consistent. The only thing is a little bit of head loss. So we're seeing a little bit of oat grain on the ground, but that's not all a bad thing because they're still completely eating it. So this silage was about a 50% chop in the baler. As you can see here, there's oats on the surface, but again, not a bad thing. The girls have actually picked through it, got to the grain, and we just fed that haylage, which is a bit of an unfair comparison right now because they love the smell of that stuff. It smells like fresh cut hay and silage combined. So they just ran over to that real quick, but they're still going to come back here and completely finish this up. So with it being a chopped silage, 6 inches roughly, they are coming and getting full mouthfuls, and when they're done, Ben, tell me the story again. You were just saying that a couple days ago they came back once the snow melted a little bit, and anything that was left for grain
they just looked like they're grazing, licking the ground as it got warmer. And lots of the processor, it shells out some of the oats, so like David was saying, it hits the ground. It's like it's all on the ground, so the cows come and they just bury their heads right to the bottom and are licking up the grain, and then they'll move off to another fresh pile and come back, and eventually they come and clean up the stock. None of this will be here tomorrow. They clean up pretty good.
I was just gonna say, this is all gone.
This is all gone. Yeah, like tonight it's all gone. Try and make them clean it up, and which isn't too hard, especially with the silage. But
yeah, there's no concern that they're going through the not fed.
So that's the one. If it is an issue, maybe it's not, but just losing some of the kernels as you pick some up. Maybe there's not as much for kernels in it, but like David was saying, it's on the ground. They're going to clean it up, but we'll show you the bale truck and the difference.
Yeah, now let's go compare this swath to what was unrolled on the bale truck. We'll probably, I shouldn't tease you, but we might see a little less loss. We might see a little something different over there. So let's go check it out. So here, this is an example of it coming off the back of the bale truck and literally just unrolling a bale like you would hay or green feed. But almost perfect chop. So that's about a 6-inch chop coming out of the baler. We had 50% of the knives in on our krone baler, and a perfect chop. And yeah, unrolling with the bale truck, it might not be quite as consistent as the processor or the TMR in that other video, but there's no grain on the ground either. As we kick the silage and the material away, there's just a little bit of chaff. There's no seeds on the ground. So correct me if I'm wrong, Ben, the mouthfuls they're getting here are most likely going to have grain intact versus not full grain loss over there, but there's just going to be some.
Yeah.
The grain has shelled out of the heads of the oats.
The cows definitely bury their heads right to the bottom of the stuff that's been processed, because that's where they're going to find the grain. But when we roll it out, they just kind of bite from the top, and they're able to grab, when they grab a mouthful full of oats or some stalks, it's going to have oats on it. So it seems like they're maybe going to consume some more grain rolled out, but
every mouthful is going to be a little bit more consistent here versus there.
They eat it all up regardless. But
yeah, by the end of the day, at the end of the night, it's gone. And, again, perfect size. That's probably the longest piece there, but a pretty good chop coming out of the baler. And if you look around in the background of these videos, there's nothing on top of the snow, and it hasn't snowed, but yet they've completely cleaned this up. So even the chaff and the bit of grain that is spilt, it's completely eaten up.
Yeah.
So
in some bales, some roll out better than others. Some are just maybe different moisture levels, and some of the bales they'll roll out. You can carry them on for quite a while, and it's nice, perfect swath. And some maybe will roll out a third of the bale, half the bale in one roll, but makes a bigger pile. But they still clean it up, and it still gets in their bellies. So.
Well, in our defense, and I actually maybe more my defense, because I was the one that baled this, was the crops. You guys had good crops here. You got a bit more rain than we did, but the crop varied quite a bit. So the swath density changed. Some of the stuff we actually remember we pre-raked it.
Yeah.
So some was raked, some wasn't. So a little bit of inconsistency in the bale, which I'll take the blame on.
No.
That would have been operator error.
No.
I'm buying lunch, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're just walking here back to the truck, and Ben pointed out that actually right about here is where they fed yesterday. And other than the manure, she's cleaned right up. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Ben.
Yeah, thanks, David. Yeah.
Let's go get some pizza in us.
Yeah, you betcha.
Thanks for watching, guys.